but today I'm here to talk about the books I read in the month of July. So I have again only read 4 books this month, same as I read last month. My reading has just not been happening for me. It's not a bad thing, but it just feels like a bad thing to me because like I haven't even read 40 books this year. I'm already 10 books behind on my Goodreads goal, and it is very stressful when you don't meet the goals that you're striving towards. So it's like, it's not a bad thing. Like 4 books isn't that bad of a number, but like I used to read 10 books a month and then I went down to 7 books a month, and now it seems like I'm only getting to 4 books a month, and it is just stressful, and it's just a weird change to get used to, that like I'm just not wanting to read as much as I used to. And I feel like the pressure of booktube did kind of hinder the amount of reading I was doing, because like it is so much fun to be able to have a booktube channel and talk about reading, but it also must be an age thing. Like sometimes the older you get, like the less inclined you are to actually read things, and like I am still enjoying like stuff that I'm reading, but I feel like I used to be like so much more excited about the things that I was reading a couple of years ago, and like I'm just going into the tangent of how my reading is getting really bad. But I did read 4 books this month and I'm excited to talk to you about them, so let's get into this wrap up. Okay, the first book I read this month was You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson, and this was an audiobook that I listened to, and the only audiobook I got to this month. Like my audiobook reading has also gone downhill. Like it seems to be hand in hand with the physical reading, that the will to just listen to books when it's very easy to do in the car has just not been happening. But I've honestly just been listening to Hamilton a lot, and I just watched the movie again this morning and I loved it. Oh my god, it's like the best, and I just want to keep watching it because I love it so much, but then I want to keep rewinding it because little moments happen and then I want to watch it again. And I really shouldn't be talking about Hamilton. Like I haven't actually mentioned the fact that I've watched it because I watched it a couple of days after it got released, and I haven't watched anything else on Disney Plus, so then I just watched it today. But I was so excited when this book became available on Scribd because everyone was talking about it, and I thought it was going to be such a good read. And it's a very short audiobook. Like it did take me a little while to get through it, but I just love how obsessed the town that Liz lives in is obsessed with prom, and like how it's such a big thing, and how that she used to stay in the background and didn't really want to have attention to herself. But throughout the period of like the prom campaign, it was so fun to see her like really come out of her shell. But basically our main character has had this dream of going to this certain college her whole life, but when a financial aid that she was really hoping for falls through, she doesn't know what she's going to do. But there's a prize for becoming prom queen, and that is $10,000, and that would help her go to the school that she really wants to go to. But she is completely not like the girls that normally go for prom, so she's got to do a lot of campaigning, get a lot of people on her side. And there is a new girl that comes to school, and her name is Mac, I am remembering that is her name, and she is a new girl and she also runs in the campaign, and they become friends, but then it starts to lead into something more, and she doesn't really know what to do because she kind of has a crush on her competition. And there's so many interactions in this book, like so many different relationships to like build upon and also fix, and it was just really fun. And if you just want a really good YA book to pick up, this one is a good one. The next book I picked up was Of Beast and Beauty by Stacey J. So this is the book I ended up picking out for my like read a book a month when I picked out all the random book titles. So I actually did read the one that I was meant to in the month because I've been getting a bit bad with it. Like I was keeping up to date with it slightly, but then I was kind of like not reading the books in the month but still reading them. And my thought process behind picking this up, beside the fact that I did need to read it, is I've basically been in a slump for like the past year and a half, and I've been reading and pushing through it, but like just the feeling is there where I don't want to read. So I thought a Beauty and the Beast retelling would really jog me out of this slump and hopefully get me reading for the next couple of weeks before I went downhill again. But it didn't happen because I didn't really like this book as much as I expected to. Like it was fun and it was cool to have the role reversal of like the Beast actually being the Beauty and the Beauty being the Beast, and like it was kind of like this weird sci-fi thing, and they're all like monsters but there's different forms of monsters. So our main character is Isra, I think that's how you say her name, and she's like this blind princess, and like she's got like these kind of like special abilities where she like touches these roses and then she can see, and like she's this like certain type of like monster, but in her people like monsters aren't like kind of a good thing, but she is monstrous. But then there's also these like other monstrous people that kind of like live in the desert who actually do look like monsters, and then they have Jem who is like captured, and he like joins up with her, and he's captured and he's got to like try and be nice to her so he can like steal the roses, and like there's a lot going on. And I just feel like this book just really didn't go to that next level. Like it just felt like, not that it had a similar plot, but just similar vibes of the relationship and the characters and the feeling and just like the way the world built. Like it was all very similar to stuff that I've seen before, and it was a bit tropey, so like it wasn't a unique read to me. So I did give this 3 stars because it's still a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I've had this one for so many years, and I'm so glad that I have finally picked it up. but it just really didn't hit the mark for me. The next book I read was Fence Volume 3 by C.S. Pacat. So this was a very quick and easy read considering it's a comic. Like, this isn't something hard for me to read, and I did read it in the one sitting, and I did really enjoy it. I like where the story's going, and I really want more volumes. Like, I know there is a novel format of this series coming out. Like, I don't know if they're going to retell the start of the story or it's going to be like continuation, but I really hope we do get more volumes in the actual comic. I just love seeing how Nick and Sanjay's like friendship is like evolving here. Oh my god, do you ever get that when you're trying to say a word and you can't remember how to say it? Like, it just doesn't work, because what I'm trying to say is reluctantly. You know the word I'm trying to say, because he's like, he's giving him tips but he doesn't want to, but he's doing reluctantly. I have said this word before, my brain is not working. But yes, they're like developing this slight friendship, and there's all the fencing and all the fun, and I just highly recommend this comic series. And the last book I read this month was The Upside of Falling by Abbeyleec. So I finally did it. I finally read this book. I felt accomplished when I finished this, and this book is such a short contemporary that it really didn't take that long to read. Like, I think it took me 3 days to read, which I was like, damn, like, who even reads that fast anymore? Like, not me. But I did enjoy this, but I feel like, again, for similar reasons I guess to Beast and Beauty, where it was like, it wasn't a new story and there wasn't really that much that wowed me. And yes, it is a fake dating story, and that is my shit. I really love fake dating because it's always fun, and it can be similar, but it's always fun. But really, with these characters, I didn't feel like we spent enough time with them, and the lines of fake dating blurred way too quickly, because it was like 1 second they're like, you know, agreeing to this, and then next minute they're in love with each other, and I'm like, And it is only 280 pages, and we only get the one book, and a lot of the issues that happened just didn't really feel big enough. Like, there was conflict, but I wanted like more conflict and really just more time to spend with these characters and learn more about them. I do love this cover so much. Like, it was a total cover buy when I first saw it, but when I said fake dating, I was on board with this. So I really don't have that much to hold up for this wrap up, because there is not much here. But still, I did get to a book on my TBR that's been there for a while, and a book that I've just been really wanting to read. So that is always going to be a good thing. Like, you got to try and look for the positives, even though it can be hard sometimes. But I just hope like next month I might be able to read more, but like, who knows. So I had another great month where I only read 4 and I didn't buy a single book, and I didn't actually realize until I got to the end of the book that I didn't even have the urge to buy anything. So my TBR is still at like 391, because the books I bought the previous month kept adding to my TBR, so it hasn't really moved at all. Like, really along the line, probably when I'm actually gonna have to really think about it, is the only way I'm gonna get this TBR down is if I actually unhaul some books and don't have such a big collection, because I've got probably nearly 900 books in my collection just around, you know, and it's probably gonna get to 1,000 at some point, and it's just a lot of books. And for the moment in my life when I move out of my parents' house, like, that is a lot of books to take with me. So really, like, the moment when I'm gonna have to start packing this stuff away and think about it and actually look at all the books that I own and like see the ways that I've changed as a reader and know the things that I probably won't read, or things that I've read that I just didn't really like and I don't want to own anymore, like, that is going to be a whole thing that I don't have to deal with right now. But I just have so many books, and the TBR is a like point in my life where it's just so massive and annoying that I just can't even like think about it anymore. Like, it's just not there anymore. It's like the books are there, but I just don't think about it, like, don't need to. But anyway guys, hopefully you enjoyed my wrap up for this month. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.